the society think about what should the man and the woman act, or what's the role for men and women. Feminism is one of the gender term. The basic definition of feminism is that men and women should be equal politically, economically, and socially. So what the correlation with the international relations? Feminism is one of studies of international relations that discuss about equality gender, increases of gender as international actors, which actually it must not be limited by gender, and proposes to get the equal rights for international parliament and making the international decision.
In the history, Indonesia has the longest colonialism under Dutch power. In the colonialism, there are many the resistance movement of weapons and diplomacy. But does the woman be participate to resistance? Although there are no many roles of women to decision making or politics, but according by historian, there are many amazing women to fighting the colonialism. During the colonialism, there are the women's association such as Putri Mardika and Aisyah. There are also women who dare to demand and present many resolutions to government. For example, the resolution of Indonesia Berparlemen 1938 with doing the action and encourage rights to choose and elected and be representative of Indonesia's women in Gementerat or Legislative Assembly Level 2. On the 22 until 25 December 1928, the Women's Organization beheld the first Congress that discussed about marriage, polygamy, and education. And now, 22 December is known as the Mother's Day in Indonesia.
Rohana Kudus, the first female journalist from West Sumatra to create a newspaper that raises sensitive issues regarding problems that occur to women. In 1911, Rohana established a charity craft school to empower women economically. Rohana believed that discrimination against women is something that must be resisted. With intelligence, courage, sacrifice, and struggle, Rohana against injustice to change the fate of women. The women's movement in Indonesia has become more prominent because of the letter written by Raden Ajeng Kartini. The letter were then turned into a book with the title Door Duisternis Tutelich. This book is considered to inspire many women in Indonesia to fight for their dignity. Kartini was later made a feminist pioneer in her era.
During the post-colonialism, the powerful and progressive movement of women with large members is the Indonesian female movement Gerwani, Gerakan Wanita Indonesia. Its existence and role has been both social and political in the two periods of democracy in Indonesia. They were concerned with the state of life and the conditions of the female workers who became urban workers and farmers. They were also involved in the formal political activities of participating in the campaign for the parliament elections. During the time of the new order of the government, feminism organization in Indonesia was disappeared. Gerwani was targeted for the desolation of military force under General Suharto. Then, the progressive organization of women at the time were Family Welfare Education or PKK, Dharma Pertiwi, and Dharma Wanita.
The Women's Organization is a vessel for female rights fighters in voicing the rights of the oppressed women. For the most part, women's organizations in Indonesia under colonial times tend to focus on education and reformation on legal systems between men and women. From the beginning of the Indonesian Reformation until now, many women's organizations have emerged as the embodiment of the women's movement to associate. On the international stage, there are plenty of women's organizations, such as the UN Women, created by the United Nations to defend gender equality and other women's rights. Now the UN is more proactive when it comes to the issue of women's rights. especially after the protest that came from the 67th United States Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who was worried about the frequent violence in women on conflict areas.
I see your pain, tell me your problem.
The form feminism in Indonesia is the formation of women agency founded by Indonesian feminist figure. Because of the high level of civil society demands of human society to strengthen human rights and prevent all form of violence perpetrated of women, as well the government responsibility to address violence against women in Indonesia. The women policy agents in the government or the state of the feminism are referred to as feminine.
Feminism is not a new phenomenon in our lives. In Indonesia, feminism has succeeded in changing the gender stereotypes among women for more than a century. It was begun from the thought of Indonesian women during colonialism. After colonialism, campaigns of feminism became more active, followed by the emerging of new pioneers and funding of the women's organization. The campaigns of feminism can be in any form, such as writings on newspaper, books, and even more. Nowadays, the campaigns can be done through social media. Feminism is a good movement as long as it is related to human rights. We all hope from now Indonesian women can express themselves and make achievements.